Yeah, so this is a follow-on to the previous one I did. And the point I was trying to make is, obviously the seed, what came first? You couldn't have had the seed without the soil. So obviously the soil came first, right? But then where did the seed come from? That means that the seed would have had to spontaneously come into being, which would have been an expression of the soil itself doing this life thing, right? Which then kind of makes you think about this in a broader sense. If you really go deep and think about it, it's basically what we're looking at is this. It's kind of like, if you think about it, because time doesn't exist. Time only exists in the world that we inhabit, this 3D kind of false reality, right? But if you are to really expand on it, before the seeds for the plants, any type of plant came into being, right? Or any plant came into being, there was just the soil, right? And then after every single plant dies or has finished its expression and kind of like dies, essentially the life force leaves it, there'll be a return back to the soil. So if you were to speed it up, essentially all you're going to have is a holographic image of the plants. It's going to be a hologram. It's not going to be an actual kind of real image, because you had the soil before, the soil present, and the soil after. But essentially what is happening is, in between that, something has spawned into being, right? And I think that spawned into being is only it's only real in the world of time, in duality, right? So if you're to speed it really, really fast, you're just going to have a hologram of all the expressions. That's what you are. You're a hologram. Yeah, so that's why if you get attached to the story, it's literally insane, because what you're attached to actually isn't real, because you are consciousness, right? And you have just expressed yourself in all these myriad ways, right? And you have now somehow, because of time and the world of duality, you've locked yourself in and gone, oh, I'm a tree, or oh, I'm a man and I live here, or I'm a woman and I. It's a story. It's not real. Because the baseline reality of what you are is consciousness. That's it. And if we say that, because the Christians say, I always talk about the Bible, because the Bible is actually a book of codes. It's actually a really good book. And it says things like, higher ways of living, or living in higher consciousness, or living in alignment with higher consciousness, being aware of consciousness, is the way, the truth, and the life. That's what it is, because that's what Jesus embodied, right? So therefore, and they say God is life because God created all life, right? So it stands to reason that that's an expression of God. So me saying that life itself, the expression of life, right, is consciousness. It's not outlandish at all. It's actually very, very plausible. And with that being said, consciousness, if you were to give it a name, an arbitrary name, as the all, as the one, as life itself, then it's got to be God. So it kind of is something that you can't actually deny is actually a fact. So yeah, that's just it.